It's not realistic. We hear that so much when it comes to movies, and yet, what does it mean? Because you're in a fantasy world and none of it makes sense in the real world, so none of it's realistic. If that's what you think, this video is just for you. Sit back and relax and learn why some things in a fantasy world are realistic while some things are not. But before we start, let's go back a couple of days when I decided to make this video. The other day, I made a short about not liking the Captain America Brave New World trailer, and I made the bold claim at the end that Captain America cutting the car in half was not realistic. So the video did well, but it had mixed feedback, and had a bunch of comments calling me out for calling it unrealistic while it's a Marvel movie with a red Hulk. Don't get me wrong, I love your comments even when they're critical, but one thing I realized is a lot of people didn't understand what suspension of disbelief was. So in this video, I'm going to try to explain it the best I can since I'm a writer. Suspension of disbelief is essential for storytelling, and without it we wouldn't have any stories. Let's use an example. Imagine if you're a pink elephant walking through the savannah. While that story is just really confusing, it makes sense under its own continuity. Imagine if, in the circumstances that you were a pink elephant, then it would make sense and would technically be realistic. Understand it? That's the rules you live under in this imagine if scenario. So that is suspension of disbelief. You're basically saying, okay, I'm going to suspend my disbelief for this under these rules. And if they're broken, that's when it becomes unrealistic. But let's go to movies, because they are much more confusing than that. Basically, in movies, each different thing you add has to have a different rule. So let's say Lord of the Rings. Magic exists, elves exist, wizards exist, and so many different other things. But they're all different small rules in the thing. If just a random new character popped up and they didn't make sense in that continuity, then it'd be unrealistic. But I'll give another example. I'm a writer and I have a human character in my book who spends time with superheroes. I write superhero books. So basically, if he gets shot like 10, 12 times, like maybe once in the head, a few different things, he's going to die. But he hasn't died before my book, so wouldn't that make it unrealistic? Well, not quite, because he got a serum that allowed him to fully regenerate. See what I'm saying? You're able to do stuff that's unrealistic, but it has to be explained. Okay, to wrap it all up, let's go back to the Red Hulk versus Captain America fight I said was unrealistic. What I thought didn't make sense was basically the car was coming at him, and he was doing a backflip forward that cut through the car, and it felt like the momentum of the car would push him backwards and then not allow him to cut through the car. But I could be wrong. Honestly though, that's the only reason I thought it was unrealistic. And I've seen different things come up, like the Red Hulk's able to generate a lot of heat. I've seen stuff like that come up, and so I could be wrong, but I still do think it's just slightly unrealistic. I'm very thankful for y'all watching all the way through, and I'm even happy that y'all left those comments. It made me think about it and gave me a video idea, and I've been struggling with video ideas. Also, subscribe if you'd like, if you think I did a good job of explaining it. If you disagree, don't feel entitled to subscribe, and please leave a comment. You never know, this might turn into a part 2. And just love you guys, and I might be taking Thanksgiving week off, I'm not sure yet, and if you don't see a video then, that's probably why. Peace.